What's up, all you clashers out there? This is Galaxis, and we're here to do some more Expert Dungeons. This is Expert Dungeon 2, and we're preparing to go through. We got level 3 Ares Frenzy, and we have level 5 on our Guardian and level 5 on the Restoration also. So just to give you a heads up, that's the level of the magic that we're using, and we're just working on Expert Dungeons. We're trying to get those completed. Basically, we'll go through. We're going to talk about best places to drop and show you about some areas that have more bombs and stuff like that to avoid, and just basically going through. We're actually in the wrong dungeon. I was looking at that like, wait a minute, I thought I only had up to 5 completed. Okay, so there we go. Here we go, and that's 5, and then we're on to 6. Okay, so Expert Dungeon 6. We're going to go in. We're going to find out where the best place to land is and just knock this out as quick as possible. Now you see I have Grizzly Reaper in there, Santa Boom in. We have our Cupid, Pumpkin, and the Druid. And I think that our best spot is going to be closer to the heroes here. So we'll go ahead and drop right in there. Going to have Pumpkin Duke be our guy that we're going to land with. Help get him proccing. And let's just make sure to protect him with a little bit of magic, just to make sure that he doesn't get killed right here, because there's going to be a lot of bombs and stuff right there. See all those bombs going off, and that wasn't too much of a problem. Now Pumpkin is out on the side. I'm not too worried about it because these towers aren't too super high level, but in some situations Pumpkin can just run out and get killed, so you have to keep on watching that. If he gets separated from the rest of the crew, he can't get healing. That's going to be the biggest part, being able to heal him. Okay, so let's take Santa Boom out. Let's go ahead and put Immortep in. Now, on the first one, we didn't have Vlad in, but typically what I'll be doing is I'll have Vlad and Santa Boom in, and then I'll just take those more powerful heroes out and put in the Shardable, Immortep, and Grizzly Reaper. So that's what we're going to do this time. We're going to go ahead and drop them in the same area. Maybe a little bit further over there. And so we got our Pumpkin Duke. He's going to start proccing, making sure that we're keeping him protected, because he's probably going to run off a little bit. Just want to stay up on him and keep the restoration ready, just in case you have to drop that in for him. But actually, we're not looking bad at all. So the idea there is just to come through that wall and just start to build up momentum, so you can knock these guys out. Now you can see it was a lot easier. Let's heal these guys real quick. It was a lot easier with Santa Boom and Vlad Dracula. A lot easier and went a lot quicker. But we're still getting the job done with Immortep and Grizzly Reaper. So not having much of a problem at all there. Go ahead and knock that out, and we're going to move on. And hey, we got the 13 shards for that too. Okay, so now, we need some. We're going to have to go out and do a little bit of raiding, guys. We need some magic, or some money to be able to buy magic. So let's go ahead and go out and get some gold. Make sure we got some flags here. Get the most out of it that we can. And right off the back, we get a guy with 366,000. So we'll go ahead and drop that in. Just bring everybody in. Now we don't have any magic, so this is a little bit dangerous, but if it starts getting a little bit scary, I'll just get out. There you go. Dracula was able to stop that Immortep. And there you go. Okay, cool. So this is not going to be a problem, but it was looking a little bit scary there. If that Immortep would have procced, then he could have actually stopped the Vlad from being able to proc, and that could have been a real problem. But good thing our guys went off. Everybody's proc went off. So we got the 366,000 in gold. That's all good. That's going to be plenty enough to buy some magic. So we'll just keep everything moving forward, grab a little bit of this magic, and go right back in. So we are on to 7. We did 6 with our main heroes, and then with our backup heroes, we went through and didn't have much of a problem with that. Now here you see we got a lot of garrisons. So we can probably go ahead and land down here a little bit, and we will get our magic out. We'll be dropping Frenzy, and we'll be dropping Angel, Guardian Angel in there, and let's get these guys going here. You can see all of those towers. Now I dropped them by the zap towers because they're a little bit less lethal than the barrage of arrows that they would have gotten if I dropped them there. So I'm just being very careful here. You see Pumpkin is sort of disappearing over there, so I gotta watch him. Probably drop our magic down there for him because there is a lot of bombs right there. Okay, cool. So we got that knocked out, no problem. Now let's take a look and see if we switch Grizzly Reaper and if we switch Immortep in for our Vlad Dracula. Let's see what we're looking at there. So then we're not going to have the overpowered Santa Boom and overpowered Vlad Dracula to help us to clean everything up. So now we're gonna see, what type of speed we're able to do it in and problems that we might be running into. So we'll drop our guys in here. Go ahead and get that down. And they're able to take all of that stuff. So we'll drop the Guardian in when they get there in the middle. They start getting hit by all that stuff, and not looking too bad here. Get that cleaned up. Got to watch out because there are bomb traps right there. Let's make sure to get our restoration in there, and we're good. Got to run on through there, not having much of a problem. Okay, so on the lower level, expert dungeons, and look at those bombs trying to come out and chase after everybody. On the lower level expert dungeons, you don't have much of a problem. Even if you only have shardable heroes, you should be able to do pretty good around the same levels that I have here. Talent or skill levels need to probably be around 5 or 6, and you want your guys to be probably somewhere around 140, 160. So that's what I would say. Now, I think what we'll do on this one is we're probably going to just drop right in. They're going to get targeted by all of the towers and stuff, but we'll go ahead and drop them in right there. We'll let our guys take the aggro. That's going to get our Pumpkin Duke going. And let's make sure to drop some healing on it there real quick because things get a little bit crazy. But yeah, we didn't have too much of a problem. Vlad is really just knocking everything out in here because his proc is pretty strong. But we're going to try again, and we're going to throw in Immortep in there, and we're going to see, if Immortep would be able to do that also. So, I don't know if you guys like it like this, but what I'm thinking is we'll do these type of substitutions throughout the series just to give you guys an idea of what problems you might run into if you don't have those, the Vlad Dracula or the Santa Boom to be able to get through, because they do definitely help and make a big difference. So let's go ahead and check it out. We're going to drop in the same location, but this time we're using Immortep and Grizzly Reaper in place of Vlad Dracula and Santa Boom. So again, we're going to be watching them, making sure that nobody gets away too much, making sure nobody gets hit too hard. We drop that restoration in because Immortep was starting to take a lot of aggro. And as you can see, it is taking longer. Definitely not the same effect that we were getting with our Vlad Dracula spinning up and just taking care of everything for us. But still effective. We're still definitely going to be able to clean this up. Now, a little bit dangerous. We have our Cupid over there, and he's taking a lot of aggro. There's not a healer around, so it looks like we might actually lose him. Yeah, we're going to lose him. I was hoping maybe that they could, the rest of the guys could get in there and sort of stun those towers, but we don't have anybody that was able to do that from a distance. So, sort of ran into that situation. So I guess, we lost our Cupid, and this is what you'll run into sometime. We're not going to have a problem with gemming them back. Go ahead and get our magic, and we'll just spend a few gems and bring them back. Typically, I don't do that, but for this, for the video, we'll make sure to keep those guys alive so we can keep on running our experiments and just keep on doing everything. Now, I'm going through all of this with a Cupid and a Pumpkin, and those guys are all buffing, and we also have our Druid in there that's buffing as well. So something to keep in mind: if you're not going to be using Cupid, then you're going to definitely have a bit of a different experience because of the the energy and stuff like that the Cupid is given, and the buff can make a big difference. So we're going to put our we'll put Pumpkin in there and we'll try and get him to start procking. You can see that's 1 proc, that's 2 procs. So, you know, he's starting to stack those procs up. Looks like Santa Boom might have took a lot of his troops out that he was using for that, but that's how I did that there. We just went ahead and stacked up the procs by putting Pumpkin Duke in and letting him take all of the aggro. And that just got everybody going a little bit faster, sort of a kickstart for everything. So not having too much of a problem cleaning this one up. You know, those garrisons are starting to look a little bit scary though. When you come in and you see all those garrison towers, they're starting to have a little bit stronger walls. So, you know, that's being an issue. And then here they got something set up, I guess, that might get you if it's a situation where you're trying to make it through in amount of time, and then you run out of time because the bases are in the 4 corners. I suppose that's why they got that set up like that, but, you know, a little bit of a headache. Look at all of our guys trying to go through those bombs, and they just started trying to blow them up. So luckily, you know, we didn't lose Santa there, but there you go. Got 14 shards for that one too. All right, so we're moving right on. You know, we didn't have a problem taking those guys out, and we did lose Cupid on the first run, but the second time we didn't. So that's all good. Now what we're gonna do is, actually no, we lost Cupid in the one before that, and this last one we didn't lose anybody. So we're gonna go ahead and switch out. We got a Mortep and Grizzly Reaper in place of Vlad Dracula and Santa Boom. Once again, we're gonna go right on in here, and we're gonna see what type of effect we're going to get out of these guys instead of having, you know, the super power duo, Vlad Dracula and Santa Boom. So you see we got our Pumpkin in there. He's starting to stack those procs up. You see him over there getting going. And that's going to just help everybody to get going a little bit faster. And pretty dangerous in there. You got a lot of bombs and stuff like that you have to watch out for, hero traps that you have to watch out for. So we do have restoration, but we're watching for the Pumpkin. But I know everybody's sort of split up on this a little bit, so sort of a difficult deal. Hopefully we don't lose anybody. I see Grizzly over there taking some aggro from all those towers. We got a Mortep coming down here. Looking too bad. I'm just thinking about where I want to drop my magic, and look at that. Did you see that? Oh man, a Mortep went right down in there, and he just like pulled all of them up right there in the strip, and man, they just all came out and blew him up. So we're gonna have to jam back a Mortep. Now you could have avoided that, I suppose, if you would have went ahead and dropped a little bit of restoration in a little bit earlier, but you know, man, there goes a couple more coming out there. Yeah, I made the mistake of thinking that a Mortep was going to be able to make it through that, and yeah, they came out pretty quick and were able to blow him up, and so that sucked. We lost a Mortep, so we're going to have to jam him back, but that probably could have been avoided. You know, and now that you guys know that the bomb field is there, you can do that and avoid that yourself, not run into that same situation. So let's get our guys back on the base. Santa Boom and Vlad Dracula. And see, we got one. Do we have enough magic here? Okay, got magic. So we got one more that we're doing here. We are on our last one. This is 10. And look what we have. Yes, indeed. We have a boss. A red boss there. So what we're going to try and do, my advice to you is to just land as close as you can to the boss. Because if you don't, then they will take off and start trying to get some of the other stuff. So you want to land as close as you can to the boss, and then you got your magic down there. As soon as that goes away, you want to drop the restoration, because this guy can take your guys out relatively quick. You see, we got him taken care of, and this is the problem here. You guys start to split up. Pumpkin Duke is over there by himself, and we're gonna lose him. He did come back. He was revived, but you know, he's right out there in the front. Yeah, so we lost Pumpkin Duke, and that's something that you're not going to be able to do much to stop that. You know, just chances that he might run over there, and he actually ended up doing it that time. So that's okay. But here we do have a strong enough crew left to go ahead and knock him out without the Pumpkin Duke. You see those bombs coming out right there. Vlad is in there taking all of the aggro, and we don't have a problem. But we did lose Pumpkin Duke. Okay, so that's something to keep in mind. But there's not a lot that you can do, because if they split up like that, go ahead and gem back our pumpkin. If they split up like that, you just gotta sort of let it roll the way that it will. And I didn't have enough. I wasn't able to actually stop him from being able to get killed, because we were already had used our magic to try and protect him from that boss in the middle. So it's one of those deals. But hey, as long as you got 3 flames, then it's okay if some of your guys die. Whatever, as long as you got your 3 flames. So looking for a place to land here. Probably be good to put our guy in here, because we don't have Guardian Angel. All we have is Restoration. So we're just going to try and get a little bit of more gold so we can get some magic, and we can go ahead and finish the dungeons. But we just ran out of gold, so we had to go out and do a little bit of raiding. That is the power of Vlad Dracula, able to just clean up spaces. You don't have to really worry about him out there by himself. Besides that Thunder God. That Thunder God could have procced and did some major work right there. But not going to have a problem cleaning this up. We'll go ahead and get all that free gold. Throw that in the pot, and let's keep it going. There you go. Got 100%, no problem. 187,000 gold. So now we got plenty of gold. We can go ahead and get the magic that we need and get back in there. So this time what we're going to do is we're going to put a Mortep in. We're going to put Grizzly Reaper in, take our Santa Boom out. And just like we did on the others, we're going to see how the Shardable crew is able to work on as far as the attack and the power goes against this boss, man, because this boss is no joke. So let me show you what I was telling you about. If you land and you're a little bit too far away, look what happens. They all go in the other direction, and the boss will come out and he'll start hitting people in the back of the head while they're trying to run off. And there goes your pumpkin was taken off. So that is why you got to stay close. You got to get as close as possible. Get right up on that boss, and that's going to make sure that your guys stay right there and they focus directly on him. So you want to stay right here in this area, not over there. Just make sure that you drop them as close as you possibly can. See, I'll get right in there, and there we go. He's starting to proc. Pumpkin Duke is gonna start going off pretty good, and make sure you get your healing in. Now you just never know which direction they're gonna go. You see, Pumpkin broke out this time. Pumpkin usually does take off and go in the wrong direction. It looks like luckily he came and joined up with the Druid. So I think he actually might start getting some healing if they hurry up and go off. Make sure that he's getting some healing. Our Mortep is way up there in the corner. And we lost a Mortep. Somewhere up here. Looks like I see his tombstone right there. So yeah, we lost a Mortep that time, but Pumpkin Duke stayed alive. So I mean, I suppose in this situation, you'd probably be happier, because your pumpkin, you're going to have a Mortep. You might be able to switch out if you have somebody else that you can use in place of him. But the pumpkin dies, is pretty much going to stop you from being able to go do anything else. And look at all those bombs going off. They were trying to take our guys out, but they were able to make it through there no problem. So guys, this is Expert Dungeon. We've gone through Expert Dungeon 2, and now we're going to start on 3 on the next series. So the next video in the series. So guys, keep on watching for that. Make sure you leave any comments if there's anything that you want to see, any questions that you have about that, and I will try and get to those questions and answer those in the next video. Or on the side, if I see that you're commenting and we could talk back and forth, I'll try and answer it that way. But I do the best I can to get the information to you guys. So I just want to thank you guys all for watching. Just keep on grinding, y'all. Until next time, Galaxus out.